Yes, sir. From the sky. Where you at? Amen. I'm blessed. Yeah. It was just 4 sides when Lil arrived. Now this far west side got us nationwide. I'm talking New York City where the streets is wide. And they throw up trays, next ready to ride. We gon' slide across the bridge to good old Jersey, where they rep capital T's and run from police. I'm talking CNS niggas, a whole lot of juggers. Get cash, ass slash. I fuck with all gangs for the movers, rollers, sue whoopers, groovers, essays to oozes. Yeah, this for my brothers from another mother. Rain on they shining, I'm about to bring a bunch of thunder from the city with some.
Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? Welcome back to the Shooter Straight Podcast, man. I'm your co-host, Zach.
And I'm Blue.
Man, it's been such a long and treacherous journey to get here. I just am really thankful for everyone who supported the intro video and liked and commented and subscribed and did all of those great things. I really appreciated all the support, and I know Blue did as well.
Facts. We appreciated it so much. From all of our friends, family, and everyone that's tuning in, we're going to keep coming.
Yeah, we're going to keep coming. We got a lot of stuff coming. We got a lot of interviews coming, a lot of stuff in the future. But for now, how about that little Sody we just listened to?
Man, that was pretty fire, man. I think he's working on getting a whole record label going for him and stuff, and I'm 100% behind it.
Yeah, Lil Sody, we had a great opportunity to meet him when he came to Gainesville, and really good guy, really good artist, and definitely one to watch out for in the future.
For sure. Let's get into the topics of the podcast.
First of all, with the new music coming out last week, we have Future. Future sold 227,000 first week. What did it say about the album?
That's crazy. I think Future's going to keep breaking record after record. He's a phenomenal musician. He's been in the game for a long time. And he's going to keep making fire music. And he's going to keep being on the top of the charts.
I think the thing about Future that is just so amazing to me is that his numbers keep getting bigger as he gets older. You know, when you looked at him earlier on in his career, he wasn't getting the big numbers that he was getting now. I think the highest selling album of 2022 so far, probably going to end this week, though, when Bad Bunny passes him. But to get 227,000 first week, you know, with the new changes in the Billboard charts and all of that, I think it's a huge accomplishment. And I think, you know, definitely an album of the year contender.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So what do you think about Kendrick's new song?
I think that Kendrick is one of the only artists in the game who is able to leave and just go totally ghost and just come back with a banger and come back with his bang. And I mean, I think it got 6 million views in a day. For me personally, I think the song was like a poem. It was poetic. It was heartfelt meaning behind it. We just hadn't heard Kendrick speak on a lot of things that had went on in the world. And I think he touched on Kobe, touched on Nipsey Hussle, and he touched on a lot of things, and I just think it was an emotional record. I think it really shows where he's going for this album, and I'm personally excited to see, you know, after 5 years, I think you have to come with some heat, and I just think Kendrick has something huge planned for this album.
350 to 400,000 projected sales. That's huge. I don't know, man. I don't know. Those are big numbers.
And it hasn't even officially released yet. To be projected to sell 350K, you know, or more without even dropping the album yet is crazy to me. Really, really crazy.
The hype around it is insane. It's insane. Like, it's crazy. Kendrick fans are really, really, they've been dying for this. It's just time.
And I think I was confused about how he was going to go about his rollout. You know, I think after 5 years, you know, you don't know what to expect. You know, it's very similar to a Frank Ocean, you know, where you just disappear and go away from the face of the earth. You know, no social media, no nothing like that. And then you just come back and, you know, this is what we get. You know, 5 minutes and 33 seconds of just poetic, you know, of a poem.
What else? Did you expect anything more? Like, did you expect anything else? Or
I think, well, I mean, I honestly, when I heard about the song coming out, I had no clue what to expect at all in terms of the production, in terms of anything.
did you know it was gonna be him, like, alone, or do you
No,
did you
I
expect
didn't.
a feature?
I wouldn't have I would have anticipated a solo track like we got,
exactly.
but I wouldn't have been surprised if we had a Baby Keem feature or something like that on there. I think that it's very likely we get something like that on the album itself, but I think it would have been weird for him to come back after 5 years and have, you know, a Baby Keem feature in his single or something like that. I feel like it wouldn't have fit. I feel like Kendrick definitely did the right move.
I still don't understand how NoCap only sold 30K first week. Like, the streams on YouTube at least were pretty high. I was expecting a higher turnout for the album, but
Yeah, and on Apple Music as well, I think the pre-save, it was going number 4. You know, I think there was a lot of hype behind it. I think, you know,
I personally love the album.
I thought the album was really good. To only sell 30K, I feel like, you know, I've seen a lot of artists sell a lot less than that recently. You know, I think Coi Leray is one a good example.
Or Corday.
Or, you know, yeah, you know, I think Coi Leray, she was selling 8,000 first week. So, you know, I guess when you look at it like that, you know, 30K isn't too bad. But I think one of the things that might be holding NoCap back is he's not getting the features besides, you know, Youngboy and Quando and things like that. You know, I think last time he had Uzi and a couple others, but I think that was back in 2020. So I think NoCap needs to get one of those bigger artists to hop on his track now. You know, and I think it's tough because of the whole beef. You know, they can't get really Dirk, or you can't really get a lot of the industry people that he might want to get because of what's going on behind the scenes. But
I feel like he's an artist, so that we'll be able to work with both artists.
yeah, and I know he's worked with both of them in the past, and I know he was friends with Dirk. I don't know about now, but you know, I think he should be able to work with whoever. You know, and I think, you know, Dirk and NoCap song would be fire. I just don't anticipate it happening, you know, anytime soon. So in terms of the game right now, you know, we have, you know, Youngboy and NoCap and Quando, you know, all of them in there. I think Youngboy is dropping his new album, you know, after NoCap just dropped his new album. Quando might be dropping in between there, but it seems as if 4K Trey is trying to take over the summer. You know, what do you think? Can 4K Trey take over the summer?
Yeah, but then again, they're gonna have to do collaborations, like you're saying. Like at the end of the day, like you're gonna want to work with some people in the music industry so that like fans can appreciate not only your music but music you create with other artists.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe some fans, their favorite artist is Dirk, but they also like Youngboy.
Mm-hmm.
So they would be wanting that. They would be wanting that song. However, the fans love the beef. They love like getting into what's going on.
Yeah.
So who knows if they really, really want a song and for them to end the feud.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't really heard much out of the feud.
That's
you
true.
know, recently, you know, I think we had that whole, you know, Aha, and then I Hate Youngboy. You know, it makes it really seem like it was just promotion for Dirk's album, if anything, because really ever since 7220. In Colors, exactly. Ever since 7220 and Colors, and then he started promoting the last Slamito, we have not really heard anything about this beef, about Youngboy, about Dirk, or nothing. And that's not to say, you know, Youngboy, you know, he got his own personal court, you know, cases and his own little thing going on, but maybe he doesn't have time for the beef. I don't know, but I think it's odd that, you know, once the albums come out, we don't hear much about the beef anymore. You know, I think it was just some industry stuff, really.
That's true.
Besides, the actual, King Von situation and all that. That's definitely real, but
Jack Harlow projected to sell 110 to 135K. What do you think about that?
we got the chance to listen to Jack Harlow, the new album together. And I think the main thing that we both grasped out of it when we listened to it is just it didn't have much substance to it. It wasn't even necessarily that the records were bad. Some of them were bad. Don't get me wrong. Some of them were bad. But some of the records, they just didn't, you were listening to them and it was just meh. It just felt to me as if it was the definition of mid. And I think it's tough for somebody like Jack Harlow, and I think we spoke about this a little bit off the camera, but I think it's tough for somebody like Jack Harlow to really have the really quality substance to his music, just because he hasn't been through the same things, and he can't rap about the same types of things without lying. And that's just how it is, because the rap game right now is so, we know what they talk about. And Jack Harlow, he doesn't really fit that mold of what they're going to talk about. And I think it's tough for him. And I think that does impact the music.
You can only make so many songs about a certain topic.
Exactly. You can only say the same thing so many times. And Jack Harlow's main forte is his sex appeal.
And his rich lifestyle.
Exactly.
Which, of course, rappers do talk about, but they talk about it in different ways.
That's very true. And a lot of times they might talk about their rich lifestyle in a way that they were referencing their broke lifestyle that they came from. So I think it's just, you don't really are going to hear Jack Harlow referencing, I don't think, his broke lifestyle. Not to say he might have not come from hardship, but.
And again, Bad Bunny will probably be #1 on the charts.
Yep. Yeah, Bad Bunny taking away Jack Harlow's potential. I think it would have been his first #1 album. I think it's a little bit unlucky for Jack Harlow, considering, a lot of other weeks, 100K is good enough to get the #1 album in the world. This week, however, he's the one who decided to drop this week, and 100K is not good enough. That's just the facts. And I don't think the album was deserving of #1, if I'm being real.
How do you think Bad Bunny is able to just sell his music the way he does? Like, everyone's able to hear it wherever you go, whether it's the club, like whether people just chilling at work, like half the people don't even understand it.
Yeah, I think the thing with Bad Bunny is he had not necessarily an advantage, but he just has such a broad audience base because there's so many places that speak Spanish.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say not half the people understand it, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, of course. Like if Bad Bunny is played in the club around me, let's just be honest, I'm not gonna understand a word that's being said. Let's just be real. Now, does that take away from the fact that the music is bad? No. I think the music is actually, it sounds good. I think the music sounds good. I just don't understand it.
It's catchy, and I've actually looked at some translations, and he is telling a story in a sense.
Yeah, no. So I'm not. I think in terms of the Latino rap scene, I think Bad Bunny definitely is up there, and I think Bad Bunny getting #1. I think that's just expected at this point. He's a global superstar. Nobody can. You can't really. You can't compete with him.
You see a downfall for him anytime soon?
Nah, I really doubt it. I think you look at like guys comparable to him. I think one guy who sticks in my head is Daddy Yankee, who retired, which is why I remember him.
Of course.
And he was in the game for how long? I don't know. Probably about 15 years plus, and he was the most famous. He had crazy hit songs just like Bad Bunny, and he never fell off. So I have no reason to believe Bad Bunny will fall off. I really don't. I think he's going to continue to be the face of Latino music, and that's just what it is.
Speaking of huge artists, what do you think of Drake's $500 million new record deal?
I think Drake got the record deal he deserved, necessarily. I think somebody like Drake, he holds just the rap game in like the palm of his hand, because whatever move he does, the rest of the game is going to have to adjust. And if he had went independent, the whole game would have changed forever, because I don't even know how much money he would have been making, but it would have been a ridiculous amount of money off of all of his stuff, independent. Instead of having to deal with all that, he's just going to get, I think 400 or 500 million up front anyway from UMG. So, for Drake, he's just smart. He's a businessman. I think he got the record deal he deserved, because you look at the stats, another number one song this week with Wait For You with Future. I mean, Drake is also, the only hip-hop artist in history to debut a song at number one and an album at number one. Future was the only other one to do that. He did it this week. You know what I mean? So Drake does things that no other artist can do. And that's just a fact. So you can justify any amount of money that you're giving Drake, because no one is doing the stuff he does.
Exactly. Like I've said this to you before, like throughout Drake's whole career, I'm pretty sure he's never been off Billboard. Like he will consistently be on the charts every single time throughout the future of music. Like he will continue to be on the charts as long as he's rapping. Yeah. As long as he's making music.
And probably even when he's done making music, his albums will still be on the charts. That's how good it is.
And I also think that when he eventually retires from being a rapper, he'll still be involved in music, whether it's him involved with the record labels or him involved with the entertainment industry. He's going to be involved with music somewhat, somehow.
Sure. Yeah, no. Drake will definitely be involved in some way, shape, or form. But I don't really anticipate him leaving the game anytime soon, especially now that you've just signed your new $400 million record deal. I don't know how the logistics about the deal. I don't think they've really come out yet, but I'm not sure how many albums Drake has to make on the deal. I would assume it's probably 4 or 5. So that guarantees at least 4 or 5 more Drake albums probably. So, Drake album, he probably will drop one once a year. So we got new Drake music coming for the next 5 years probably, which I don't think anybody can complain about. And I'm definitely not complaining.
And we also got new Lil Durk with his deluxe coming out soon.
Yep. Yeah, Lil Durk coming out with the deluxe. I don't know how you feel about it, but 7220 definitely an album of the year contender for me.
Probably a contender because of how big of an artist he is. But personally, for me, like I feel like NoCap should have been there. It's just the sales that he didn't equivalent to like the accommodations that he should receive.
Yeah. And I think that could be the case with a large majority of the smaller artists. Anyone who's not selling 100K is not realistically going to be in like the album of the year conversation.
Of course.
For like the awards. Let's just be real. If you're not selling at least 100K, you're not even getting really invited into the awards.
But that doesn't mean it's not great music.
Exactly. So then it just comes up to your own personal judgment. And if you're really going to go into your own personal judgment, I think there's other artists that have dropped this year. Fredo Bang, Lesodi. They definitely are all in there. Album of the year. Lil Durk with the deluxe. Hopefully, he can just have some decent features on there and just continue what he's been doing. Lil Durk, he's most songs on Billboard in 2022, the most songs on Billboard in 2021. He's just on a run. And, he's just making great music, and nothing's really going to stop him.
All right, are we shooting it straight into sports now, or?
Yeah, let's shoot it straight into sports, man.
All right, so we got Jokic for MVP.
Nikola Jokic winning the MVP. I mean, I personally...
This is his second year in a row, correct?
Yep, second year in a row, Jokic wins MVP. I personally, I don't know about that. I think Jokic, he's a great player. Do I think he's the most valuable player in the league? No. But I think the NBA MVP award it needs to be changed, or the name needs to be changed or something, because the most valuable player, it's, to me, the award, they get tired of giving it to the real best player in the league. For example, Giannis, he won it twice in a row. Before, Jokic has just won it twice in a row. And, although Giannis was in the conversation for MVP, he was never the front runner this year. And is that, Jokic is a great player, don't get me wrong. But they're so even that to say that Jokic has been better the entire year, I don't know. And also, given the Bucks are on a better team and the Bucks just won the championship last year, I feel like Giannis definitely deserved more of a shout. But I think people, just like they did with LeBron, just like they did with many people who win a lot of MVPs, they just get bored of voting for this person, because realistically, LeBron could have won MVP like every single year in his career, most of them. But let's just be real, especially a lot of his Cavs years, 2016, 2017, those types of years. He was putting up good enough stats, and he was the most valuable player on those teams. The Cavs didn't have nobody besides him. And, ultimately it went to who it went to. But I think Jokic might be the most valuable player, for the Nuggets, definitely. Is he the best player in the league? No. In my opinion, no. I don't think he's the best player in the NBA.
All right, so who do you think will be the next face of the NBA? Because we both know that LeBron is going to retire eventually.
I think
we have a lot of up-and-coming talent. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think, you look at Ja, you look at Devin Booker, you look at Jason Tatum, you look at a lot of players, and I think a lot of it will come down to whose team is the best. If the Suns continue to be the best team in the league, next year and the year after.
You think Devin Booker?
I think there's a chance if Devin Booker is the best player on a championship team. Let's say they win it this year. Devin, given his lifestyle as well, hanging out with the Kardashians and all of them, the flashy LA lifestyle, Kardashians, winning NBA championships. To me, Booker definitely has a chance. But I don't think the Suns will win the championship this year, so I don't think it's going to be Booker. I feel like the best chance is it should be Giannis. But if it's going to be somebody else besides Giannis, probably Ja. Or
I was thinking Ja.
But
it's just the positioning of the team that he's in though right now.
I think it's going to be tough for a guy in Memphis to be the face of the NBA. It's not the big market. The big market team. I think the NBA wants Ja to be in LA. They want Ja to be in New York. They want the big stars to be in the biggest cities. And that's just how it is. So I don't think Ja.
Oh wait, we're forgetting about Jimmy Butler. How are we forgetting about Jimmy Butler?
But Jimmy Butler he's not the face of the NBA.
You don't think he has a chance?
Too old.
You're right. He's way too old.
Probably it's gonna have to be somebody younger,
old,
but
somebody younger.
But he's not gonna be the face of the league. It's probably gonna be, somebody like Ja, or maybe somebody who's coming into the league now.
That we don't even know about necessarily.
Yeah. Speaking of Ja, how do you feel about the injury that he suffered against the Warriors? Jordan Poole slapping him on the knee.
I don't know. I saw the video and it looked like he did it on purpose. That's just me. I played a lot of basketball when I was younger, and I feel like that slap on the knee was definitely unnecessary.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even a slap. It was more like we were talking about earlier. It was more of a grab.
Yeah.
For a couple seconds, then he let it go, try to rip it or whatever have you.
And I think it was just weird because when I watched back the video, the first thing I noticed was it was an open palm. So if you're getting slapped on the knee with an open palm, it's not really going to hurt. And I told this to you. So when you see him, he's grabbing it and he's moving it out of place. To me, that's just a dirty play. When you can kind of, feel, Ja was saying how you could feel, Jordan Poole kind of move it and just stay there longer than it needed to be. Because if he really just slapped it just to slap it, then he would have just moved it off right away. But it stayed on there for a little bit, like he was grabbing it. And he knew he wasn't grabbing the ball. He knew he wasn't getting the ball. Let's just be real.
I didn't look. Did Jordan Poole face any repercussions? Is the NBA investigating or?
I don't think so. I haven't seen anything. I saw, obviously we had the Draymond suspension in that series, and then we had the Dillon Brooks incident in that series, but nothing yet for Jordan Poole, and it's definitely gonna be something to watch. If Ja can't play, which is looking like for Game 4 he can't play.
He's not gonna play.
Yeah, he's not gonna play. It looks like, unfortunately, that was a great series that might just be, go ahead and getting wrapped up. You know, if the Warriors take a 3-1 lead,
So
it's
then
over.
what do the playoffs look like? Let's do a playoff breakdown really quick.
Well, I mean, Ja not playing Game 4 in the Warriors and Grizzlies series. I mean, I'm gonna have to give that to the Warriors. I mean,
Of course.
I think they'll probably, if Ja isn't playing for the last 2 games, they'll take it in 5. They'll take it in 5 rather easily, which is unfortunate because I think the Grizzlies are a fun upcoming team, and I think it's really nice to have someone different in there. You know, I loved watching the Grizzlies when I was younger with the whole Zach Randolph and Mike
Yeah.
Conley teams. They were so fun to watch. They were going against, you know, the Young Thunder and all of them. I remember those days, and it was great. So I love watching a good small market team get in there. And the Grizzlies being the number 2 seed, I was rooting for them. However, I do think ultimately Steph Curry and the Warriors will knock them out. Suns and Mavericks. You know, I know you're a big Luka guy, big Luka advocator.
Facts.
So I know you're probably going to lean towards Dallas.
Again, I'm leaning. I might be leaning towards Dallas, but then again, like Luka doesn't. We talked about it. And Luka doesn't really have like a superstar team built around him, and
Very
not
true.
necessarily like you need that to win a championship.
Yep.
Because it's been
This
done.
teams have done it before.
Exactly, it's been done before. Where you got one star player who can just get it done, and
Yep.
and he gets the team to get it done.
Yeah. And I think you look at situations like that, you know, I think even though, you know, I think you look at like D-Wade in 06 with the Heat, you know, D-Wade had Shaq and he had a few other players, but it was a, you know, Wash, Shaq, and, you know, that was basically just D-Wade. That was D-Wade's team. He had some other guys on there. And I think the same way Luka, he's got some other guys on there, but no real second guy. Like this guy, if Luka gets hurt, this team will be fine because they got the second guy. If Luka goes out, the Dallas ain't got nobody.
Exactly, but let's just say Luka doesn't get hurt, right?
Yep.
I believe they still have a chance even to win the championship.
Wow. So you're saying the Dallas not only beating the Suns, but potentially taking the whole conference, taking the Warriors as well. Now, that's a bold take.
Yeah.
So just on record, you're saying you're taking the Mavs over the Suns. On
Again,
record.
I said they have a chance. However, I want to see how.
Well, the game is tonight. I want you to
Yeah.
go. I want to for the camera. I want on record who's winning this game tonight. The day we're recording this, Suns and Mavericks are playing tonight. Or no, the Warriors and Grizzlies are playing tonight. Suns and Mavericks are playing tomorrow, I think.
I got to go into Game 7, but I got the Mavs tonight.
The Mavs next game. In Game 5, you're gonna take the Mavs.
Yeah, but I got to go into Game 7, no doubt.
Wow.
That's just me.
Okay, so back. Okay, so to the Eastern Conference, Bucks Celtics. I think that game is tonight. Right now it's 2-1 Bucks. What are you thinking on that series?
The Bucks might have it in the bag, man.
Bucks are at home, yeah.
They have a formula going, and it's not stopping. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. I think like even without Middleton right now, I think the Bucks.
People really sleep on Drew Holiday. He's a really, really, really good player, and he
Yeah.
has been.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like last year Drew Holiday, you know, was the difference between them losing and them winning.
Exactly.
You know, because they had Middleton and Giannis before, and it wasn't good enough. You know, was it a younger Giannis? Yes. Was it a younger Middleton? Yes. But it didn't win him a championship. And then they add Drew Holiday into that mix, and they immediately make a run. You know, was it, you know, the best run? No. You know, but they made the run. They won 4 in a row to beat the Suns, and they won the chip, you know? So,
Real quick, I got to say it right now, man. I got the Heat over the 76ers.
That's just what I was about to get into.
I'm telling you right now, I got the Heat over the 76ers.
Now,
No doubt about it.
yeah. Besides the Warriors, Grizzlies, the Heat and 76ers has been the best series, you know, and it's going to be the best series to finish up. You know, Warriors, Grizzlies, like we said, fortunately because of Ja, it's going to be pretty much done. But this Heat 76ers series is amping up 2-2. Heat took the first 2 at home, and 76ers.
I'm telling you,
yeah.
I got the Heat.
See, the thing that worries me the most is last night, you know, it's not only that the 76ers won. I think it's how the 76ers won, given Harden, You know, he showed a little bit of glimpses of him being maybe back. And if, you know, Harden had been playing like let's just be real, he's been playing ass. If Harden can get back to that old Harden with Embiid right now, you know, it might be wraps.
No,
but I don't see
think
it,
so, man.
I don't see it being consistent. You know, it was just one game, and more than likely James Harden will come out and he'll probably be Brick City next game. But it's gonna be interesting to see how this series plays out. That's for sure. I think, for me personally, I'm taking the Heat in 7, but I think it could really go either way. You probably got Heat as well.
Yeah, like I said, I got Heat for sure. All right, cool. So, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but does Kyrie deserve to be on the NBA 75 list? I know that was news a couple of days ago, but it's kind of relevant now.
No, I think, you know, the whole 75 list was really cool. I think most of the list was pretty accurate. You know, I would say pretty accurate. But then there's a couple names on there that you know, you got to just scratch your head. And the one name the most that makes you just scratch your head for me is Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
I don't understand how Damian Lillard can be on the NBA 75 list and
not Kyrie.
Because to me, there is nothing that Damian Lillard has done that Kyrie hasn't done for the game. And if anything, Kyrie has accomplished more. And you could say Kyrie, he only won his championship because of, you know, he was with the Cavs, he was with LeBron. But you can't hold that against him.
Exactly. You can't deny that what Kyrie has done for the game.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
In the same way that Curry has made it cool to shoot threes, you know what I mean? Like Kyrie, like kids would go to the court and they'd be dribbling like crazy and they say Kyrie. You know what I mean? They're thinking, oh, I'm dribbling like crazy. I'm like Kyrie. You know, back in the day, they're like, oh, I'm dribbling like crazy. I'm Allen Iverson. You know?
And like Steph, he gives an opportunity for shorter players to come in the league.
Yep. So I think Kyrie deserves to be on the list. You know, I think it's unfortunate that he wasn't on the list, especially considering I think there was 76 people on the list, not 75, because I think it was a tie for the last spot. Could be wrong on that.
So, yeah, let's go straight into football now. Carolina denying Baker Mayfield, and Robbie Anderson was all over it. He said, no, we're not having him. It's not happening here.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? And Mayfield's future.
Yeah, I think
at the Browns.
Mayfield, you know, I feel bad for Mayfield because Deshaun Watson wasn't even expected to go to the Browns. I think Deshaun Watson was supposed to go to the Atlanta Falcons. I think Deshaun Watson wanted to go to the Atlanta Falcons. I think everything made sense for a match made in heaven of the Atlanta Falcons and Deshaun Watson. I think it just made sense. Now, it didn't happen like that. And I think, you know, obviously Deshaun Watson is happy to be getting that big $230 million guaranteed payday.
But it leaves Mayfield kind of screwed.
Yeah, no, Mayfield is completely screwed. And you know, it's put him in a tough spot to where this season might be a complete wash for him. He might not even get the chance. He's not going to get to do anything this year.
He's probably not going to get traded.
Like
who's gonna want to pick up Baker Mayfield?
Like literally at this particular moment, I don't think there is a single team in the entire league that is even considering Baker Mayfield.
Exactly.
I don't think there's a single team that needs him as a backup. Now it is gonna change because
people might get hurt.
And that happens every single year. You know, just wait until training camp comes around, and it's always a given. You know, unfortunately that someone's gonna get hurt in training camp. Probably, you know, over something that shouldn't have been happening on in the first place. But that's just how it goes in the NFL. So Baker Mayfield's going to get a chance. I have no idea where, but he's going to get a chance. I will say that. You know, and I think he deserves the chance. You know, he hasn't done anything wrong. You know, has his performance been the best? No, I don't think so. But he's probably good enough to be at minimum a backup, but probably a decent starter, I feel like. You know. That's just my opinion, you know. But at least we do know it won't be with the Carolina Panthers.
Facts.
So what do you have to say about Mayfield?
Like you were saying, he's completely screwed, and like he can't go nowhere. And he's a really good quarterback. So, and I believe that I personally believe he should be a starter in the league. If he's just screwed up the opportunity that he's had, but that doesn't mean he can't come back. That doesn't mean he can't be a superstar quarterback again.
That's true. And sometimes it really all you need is to change the scenery.
Exactly, a change of scenery. He needs to be maybe put in a different positioning. Like the Browns don't want him. Like that's clear.
It's clear.
So somebody so a team needs to get together and say, hey, like, do we really need Baker Mayfield, and how is he going to be the best part of our team? Period. Simple.
Yeah, I mean,
they need to not necessarily build a franchise around him, but
they do.
They do.
Like whatever team trades for Mayfield, I don't know if it's necessarily like the franchise quarterback, but Mayfield, like I don't know how old Baker is, but he's definitely not old by any stretch of the imagination.
Exactly.
So whoever does trade for Baker Mayfield is probably going to be looking at somewhat of a future with the guy. So, and I think I just think the Browns and Baker Mayfield just wasn't a fit. I just think it really, like, I think Mayfield is a good quarterback, and really I think the Browns are a good team. I just think together it just didn't really fit. I think wherever Baker goes, he'll have that chip on his shoulder like he did probably when he was coming up in Oklahoma. And, he had a crazy year, gets to Heisman, becomes a walk-on to number 1 pick. I mean, that's just crazy in itself. So I think whatever team gives Mayfield this chance, won't regret it. I do think he can still be a good quarterback in this league. I just don't know what team that's going to be with and when he's going to get that opportunity,
Facts. All right, so let's switch it up. What do you think about the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial and her testimony?
I haven't seen, all of it. I've seen some of the clips, and I saw, some of the clips of her lawyer, and I saw, just the guy looked like to be a joke of a lawyer, So I think, from Johnny Depp's perspective, he's probably laughing. He's laughing on the way to the bank. He's thinking, this guy probably does not know what he's doing. I mean, you would think she would probably be able to get a better lawyer, but that was, I just didn't really understand what the guy was talking about.
When he objected to his own question,
like,
everyone.
When you object, how I don't understand how you're going to be a lawyer. You have to go through the schooling.
Everyone in the room and everyone in the country knew this case
is over. I think at this point it's like they're just prolonging it.
And I'm not trying to say Johnny Depp didn't do anything wrong. Like he had a drug problem.
Yeah.
He could have had some minor abusive issues, whether those were verbal or whatever have you. But like, I don't know. If he lost a lot of money on this on the article and whatever happened to you, he lost out on opportunity on jobs. I just hope everything works out and he gets back to what he's doing.
Yeah,
he gets back to what he's doing.
Because I think the acting world at least has probably missed Johnny Depp a little bit. Growing up, I mean, for me at least, Pirates of the Caribbean, that's a classic. I love watching that movie and Johnny Depp obviously being, Jack Sparrow. That's a GOAT. So I just hope everything works out. My thing with the whole legal system is always, I just let them do their thing, and whoever's right is right and whoever's wrong is wrong, and I'm gonna let them decide.
But at the end of the day, though, there are some slip ups in the legal system.
Oh no, for sure, for sure, but there's definitely slip ups in the legal system, but there's only so much you can do. But like, just gotta. Sometimes it's just out of your control. Not much I can do. Speaking of that, and the legal system, what do you have to say about the Supreme Court and the whole Roe v. Wade situation going on right now?
Bro, I think that is crazy. Like, people are protesting out in the streets. At least it's not getting violent. Man, honestly, I think this. I don't want to say anything like I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or say anything wrong, man. Like, but I'm just gonna tell it how it is. I feel like the government is the government, and they're gonna work the way that they work. So let it work.
Yeah.
Like that's just what it is. And what I mean by that is, if they give it back to the states, then you have the opportunity to move to a different state and change your life to where you could have an abortion in that state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know, to tell someone that they have to get up and move though, like they have to change their entire life
Of
just
course.
so they can do. That's kind of messed up though.
I understand that, but people do that all the time.
No, for sure,
All the time.
for sure.
Like people do that all the time because of laws.
You're
Like,
right.
Like think about how many people moved, and it's dumb to compare situations, but think about how many people moved because of the medical marijuana movement, and they couldn't get medical marijuana in their state,
So they just went to Colorado.
so they just went to Colorado or whatever, and
yeah.
some of it wasn't even a personal choice, whether their kid had epileptic seizures or whatever
Yeah.
have you. People will move if they have to. People will move.
That's facts. That's facts. And people move for dumber reasons per se anyway.
Of course.
But I think they just I mean I don't know, to have to get up and move just because of that, it's rough, but
it's just the way that the government works.
exactly. That's exactly with the government. It's just like, I don't know, they're just gonna do their thing, and it's unfortunate. That's the way it is, but it's like, it's just, you just don't have so much control over it per se,
Of course, and again, we can vote in policies to change how the government works, but how much do we really want to change how the government works?
Yeah, and then with how the government works, you can only change so much of it because so much of it is so deeply rooted into American history and all that. It's like, you're not going to get rid of the two-party system, even some would say that's a fundamental issue going on, in society, but it's not like the two-party system is going away in America anytime soon. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And maybe, I would say that might be one of the biggest issues, with everything, but it's not going to happen. So you just got to accept it and move forward. That's all you can really do,
Of course. Let's talk about the update in the Activision Blizzard lawsuit. New York City is planning on to sue them. What do you think about that?
I hope that,
and
whatever
by
happens.
The way, this is a completely different lawsuit. This is another lawsuit adding on top of the lawsuit that they already are facing.
Yeah. No, I feel like if what was going on is actually going on, if that's what's going on, then hopefully they get the repercussions that they deserve.
Of course.
I feel like, I felt similarly with the whole Deshaun Watson thing, taking it back to football. But the more lawsuits that pile on top of you, the worse it starts to look for you. You know what I mean? When it's not just one person that's saying this about you, and then you have another person, and then another person, or another lawsuit that comes on top of it, and it's like the same exact thing. It kind of shows repetition, and it shows that, like, this is not no one-off, like, situation. This isn't just one bad person. It kind of starts to reflect on the whole company.
Of course, and I don't believe the company should go down as a whole because Activision has made great stuff.
Yep.
Like
they've done a lot for the culture as well.
They've done a lot for the culture. They gave back. They've done what they had to do from that perspective. However, I do believe that a new CEO should step in. Law enforcement should keep investigating and do whatever it takes to get every single person involved, who has committed those crimes out of there.
For sure.
But what does it look like? Like, they get new people in there, and hopefully everything works out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's probably going to end up having to be a complete, like, wipe of the company, top to bottom, in terms of, like, the people involved, because that's one of those things where it's like, it's everyone connected.
Exactly. I mean? And the CEO, like,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
huge.
If the CEO is involved, so it's like, he's involved?
Yeah, of course he's involved, yeah.
Exactly. So if the CEO is going to be involved, then, like, big changes are going to have to happen. But for people like us, big changes happening in Activision is good, because as avid Warzone players, the game is ass. The game is ass, bro.
It's not it's not ass. It's just how they're taking care of the game is ass.
Yeah, but it's understandable why the game might be lacking because they have other things going on.
Of course.
But hopefully everything gets resolved and the people that were involved with that get punished, so that everyone can move forward, the company can move forward, and just move forward. Hopefully we just get some good games because I think we need some good games, and Activision normally is making good games.
Oh, they need to fix the game that they already have.
Yeah, they do. They need to fix the games. Yeah. So, how do you feel? Your hometown, Sarasota. And from what I've heard from you, not too much really goes on. Am I right or am I wrong? It's just they just kind of chill to themselves and all that.
Yeah, it's pretty chill. Like not nothing major, like crazy criminal or really entertaining really goes on.
Yeah, like I got the opportunity during spring break to stay there with you, and I just noticed it was just a nice little town, and it was calm, and nothing really much goes on there, except for the recent development that a Sarasota man was arrested for an $80 million Ponzi scheme.
And we hear about these all the time, and people still continue to get fooled by them. I don't know how. Like, I really don't.
Yeah, I just don't really understand it, but...
So you heard what happened, right? Like, they wanted him. They were. He just got a bunch of people to invest in a company that necessarily, I guess, wasn't real.
Yeah.
And he spent it on a lavish lifestyle. He took
Probably
trips,
houses and all that.
course,
Watches and all that.
But I think we talked about it earlier. How all that type of stuff, it will always come to an end.
Oh yeah.
FBI will find out. Like, that's not gonna last forever.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. I've watched some of his come up, and he detailed, he was basically just scamming people in a sense, and it reminded me of how this guy did it, because he was talking about how they like invested in the company and then basically just stole their money. That was very similar, but I just don't really understand why or how that happens. Maybe it would make sense if it happened to me. But I just don't understand. Like, if somebody calls me and is like, yo, invest into this random company, like, first of all, I'm going to look up the company if I'm actually going to invest. And a simple Google search should be able to kind of, make it all make sense, that this isn't real. But I don't know.
It's crazy. I wonder, like, if they're ever going to go in detail about what he really bought with the money. Like, $80 million.
$80 million. Like, what do you really buy? Like Blue. Let's just say, you check your bank account after we're done recording this, and $80 million pops up on there. Like, where do you even think to go?
That's what I'm saying. Like, but I want to know for him personally, because I know me, like, I'm just going to do some, like, normal stuff, like, buy a house, invest. But he probably, like, I don't know. He probably, like, he probably has some crazy, wild stories.
Well, exactly. Well, because I would imagine, like, a lot of the purchases he was making with that money would have to be like off the record, like offshore. Like, it's not like you could just go swipe $80,000 on your credit card if you're doing it illegally.
And he probably assumed that what he was doing was set and it was going to last forever. So he was just spending the money ridiculously.
Or he probably thought he had a way he could filter the money. You know what I mean? Like, clean it.
For sure. I know we shouldn't have waited to the last topic or last subject to talk about this, but Los Angeles and New York City are bringing back masks.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
To me, it's crazy. Like, to be like, it's like it's fixing to be halfway done with 2022. Like if you want to wear the mask, wear the mask. Like, I honestly at this point, like, it's been like 2 years since they've been introduced or whatever. Like, I could care less at this point. You know what I mean? Like, if I got to wear the mask, like, I'll wear it, I guess. Like, if you don't want me to wear it, I won't wear it. I could care less. Like,
and they're also in New York City, they're bringing back to make sure you have to show your vaccine card.
Yeah.
To go in, and they're also thinking about bringing masks back on planes. Man, I think this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's just like it's been too long, and it's like it's so off and on. I feel like this whole COVID stuff nowadays.
Personally, I feel like for me, it's like they're trying to see, like, it's past the safety issue, and they're trying to see, like, how much they can control the people and how far they could take it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I'm telling you right now, like I don't believe that there's no reason to wear a mask. In the beginning, they said that they didn't really work. Fauci said that they didn't work. Then he went back on it, said that they do work.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, like, people have their own decisions of what they want to make.
Yeah.
Whether it's wear a mask or vaccine, but I don't believe it's it. I don't believe masks are the solution. I feel like we just have to live with the virus and then just let it, not necessarily, honestly, let it go. Like it's starting to die out already, and I feel like
I agree.
And I feel like people are just trying to bring it back up because it's just a talking point.
Yeah.
When honestly, like, we can just end it. Like,
well, I mean, think about it. Like the last 2 years, like there hasn't been like many days where you go by and like COVID is not even like a thought in your brain. Like it's like such a, like at this point it's like ingrained. Like you're gonna think about COVID. You know what I mean? Because it was just going on. It was so relevant.
Exactly, but I feel like
but I do feel like now it is like dying out.
Dying it out.
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
And if I feel like it's gonna continue to die out.
I agree with that, but a lot of that is just the media like was just pushing it so much at that time. It was, to be honest, it wasn't even like I don't know, like I don't know about you, like I never even like really had it, and I don't know if I had it or not. I don't think so. You know, I never had like a confirmed test or nothing. So like for me, like it was never really.
Well, you never had a positive test.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like it was never like as bad as it was, you know, like made out to be for everyone else. I'm not saying that the virus is bad.
Yeah, and that's for our age group, respectively.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sure even some people in our age group went through some trials and tribulations.
No, for sure.
However, for the majority, like, it's not worth it.
And even when like everyone was caring so much about the masks and all that, like especially here, you know, in Gainesville, we saw it firsthand. Like no one was really caring per se, you know.
Exactly. And another thing is, I feel like instead of mandating it, I feel like the people that want to wear masks are gonna wear them anyway.
It's just like here at UF, like even like last year, like the mask, there was like masked, like what was it? Like not required, it was like expected.
Exactly, and and I would assume that it's rare that like nowadays, like in 2022, like an elderly person is gonna walk up to a teenager, whatever have you, a younger person in a restaurant and say, "Put on your damn mask," or like yell at them about it. Like there's no reason to do that. So I'm positive that people aren't doing that.
Now, you'd be surprised about the Karens, though. You know, never know what. You know?
Again, though, that's just an outlier situation.
No, for sure. You know, like I've never really encountered a Karen in real life. You know,
and that's what I'm saying. And then people have made it out to where like not necessarily the classic white woman is Karen.
Yeah, no,
but
no.
people expect like oh, if she has a bad attitude and she's white, bro, she's Karen. And that's not true, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's not like that.
Yeah.
And if we did the exact opposite thing with another race, people would immediately like be like, "Yo, that's racist. You can't call that girl like whatever you want to have her, or that man just because he has a bad day."
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. There are like Karens per se, people who are just have a bad attitude all the time, and that's just the way they are.
No, for sure.
But like you shouldn't categorize like a race. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know what you're saying. You know, I would like the one thing for me, with like at least with the Karen whole thing, like the Karens, at least it was all funny to me. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like.
And some people just take it serious.
Oh no, for sure. But that's the problem. You know what I mean? To me, like the whole like Karen thing, like
it was a joke.
That's just a joke.
Like,
that's a joke. Like that to me, that's funny.
Of course.
But there's definitely some people out there who just take it like not as a joke, and
Exactly.
that's with anything. You know, it's like I don't know. People just need to learn, you know, how to take some jokes, right?
We could laugh and call it, like we can laugh and stuff like that though, and be like, oh, she's a Karen, but to now, like, let's think like, oh, like that white person's mad, like whatever, she's a Karen, like I don't know, that's just messed up.
Yeah.
Well,
Damn.
What's up?
Just crazy. Shoot it straight. It's just great to be here, you know?
Facts.
And I think, you know, with all that being said, you know, I think
You good?
I'm good on episode, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I'm good too.
Well, I mean, with all that being said, you know, I thank you for checking out Shoot It Straight, episode 1. I think we've got a lot more content and a lot more interviews coming soon. I'm not going to say any names yet, but there's definitely some big names that you know in the music industry and
maybe some unfamiliar faces that have
that you don't know about.
Amazing stories.
Yeah, there's some people you don't know about quite yet who you're gonna want to get familiar with once you watch the interview we got. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Repost, share.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, we showing love back to anyone who shows love to us, and
show the love.
And I think that's the whole Shoot It Straight motto is this: we just want to, you know, shoot it straight and show love. You know, I think that's what you can expect when you click here. If you know, for episode 2, episode 3, and every single episode after that. You know, you're just gonna get 2 people, you know, sometimes more, you know, shooting it straight, and you're gonna get, you know, good love and positive energy.
Facts. Well, I'm Blue.
And I'm Zach. Let's shoot it straight.
Let's shoot it straight.
Next time. See y'all next time.
See y'all next time.